Wild Zone 13 is filled with bugs, and more bugs. But more bugs mean more shiny Pokemon, and some of these shiny bugs can even Mega Evolve. I'll be showing you all the tricks and methods to help you fully shiny hunt Wild Zone 13. So never miss out by hitting the subscribe button and notification bell, and don't forget there's an entire playlist for all our shiny hunting guides in the description. Now let's 100% shiny Wild Zone 13. Wild Zone 13 unlocks after you complete main mission number 14. The Pokemon that we'll be hunting in the zone are Pinsir, Heracross, Vivillon, which is a day spawn, Weepinbell, also a day spawn, Phantump at night, and Scyther at night. The fixed alpha Pokemon for this zone will be Alpha Trevenant at nighttime and Alpha Weepinbell in the day. In order to get the 5% chance of having random Pokemon spawn as alphas, make sure that you catch every Pokemon at least once in the zone that's showed on the minimap, which is basically Mabel's request. For full shiny dex completionist, you'll need one Vivillon. There's only one pattern you can catch as of right now in the zone. You'll need two Weepinbell, one to keep as Weepinbell, and one that evolves into Victory Bell when given a Leaf Stone, which also has a brand new Mega Evolution. You'll need four Scyther, a male and female, which the female has a longer abdomen than the male one, and then when you trade both of them with the metal coat, you're then going to need another two, which will then evolve into Scyther, which the male and female also have different size abdomens, with the females being larger. And it also has a Mega Evolution. That looks pretty cool. You'll need one Pinsir that has a Mega Evolution. You'll need two Heracross, one female, which has a heart-shaped horn at the end, while the male Heracross has a shark tail shape. And it also has a Mega as well. Two Phantump, one to keep as Phantump and one to evolve into Trevenant via trading, unless you catch the Alpha Trevenant in the zone. The shiny odds are going to be 1 out of 4,096, and shiny odds with the shiny charm are 1 out of 1,024.38. Also, I just want to say, peep the jacket I'm wearing. It's official Pokemon, by the way. Also, more on this jacket later because people were asking me about it, and someone in my comments said they're going to keep disliking every video until I talk about it. So later in the video. All right, here we are at Wild Zone number 13, and the first method we're going to be talking about is the fast travel method. Fast travel method is really simple. All you do is spam fast travel to Wild Zone 13 multiple times. So you could do up to 10, 20, 30, whatever you're comfortable with. My personal suggestion is that you do it about 10 times, and then after you're done with 10 times, you go and check out what's going to be shiny within the zone. Now, to know exactly what Pokemon you get from the fast travel method, we're going to drop down a pin right over here and see what Pokemon can be shiny, because you need to be 50 meters from your location where you fast travel in to get those shiny Pokemon, because you're not loading every Pokemon in the zone. So what Pokemon can be shiny? Well, if we look at our mark over there, we could see that 1, 2, possibly 3 Vivillons could end up being shiny. As well, on the right side over here, these 1 and 2 Pinsirs can be shiny. Now, during the daytime, it's going to be the Vivillons over here, and at nighttime, you're going to have these 2 Phantumps show up, which have a possibility of being shiny as opposed to Vivillons. Now, as you can tell, fast travel is a little inefficient because, well, fast travel only covers the beginning of the zone, and there are a lot more Pokemon in here, like Weepinbell, Heracross, Scyther at nighttime, and a few others. So let's talk about the run and reset method, which compensates for the fast travel method, which is going to put us above the 50 meters. So run and reset's really simple. You fast travel once to the zone. This is the reset part of it. And then we're going to run. Pretty much it. You're going to enter the zone, and then you're going to straight through run. Now, this zone has a lot of hostile Pokemon, so you're probably going to get a red mark. So you could have two choices here with your run and reset. One, you could just head back to the original spot and reset again, which I don't personally like this one as much, but this is the first one, and then you do a reset. So that's your run and reset, so it's back and forth. Or you could do the run and reset method, where you're literally going through the entire zone just like this, eyeballing every Pokemon you see to make sure they're shiny. And then if they have an eyeball on you, or the moment it's gone, you immediately hit plus. So if without exiting the zone, the moment the red marker is gone with the eyeball, you can hit plus and then reset. As long as you get close to the end, you spawned in every Pokemon within the zone, and that's pretty much what you're going to do over and over again. And this is going to probably net you the most amount of shiny Pokemon, and it's going to be an active hunt. However, this specific hunt can also just be programmed. Exactly what I do is enter the zone, go straight through, and it repeats over and over again. It can be programmed on our 8-bit Do controller, which we will talk about later in the video, and I'll drop a link down below for you guys. One more thing, just remember that you're switching it manually to night and day, so you're getting the different spawns for the different Pokemon depending on what you are hunting. Also, some Pokemon have very subtle differences, so I want to point out that you could use the double home zoom in trick to see if a Pokemon is shiny. I think Weepinbell is a little bit of a confusing shiny, as well as Scyther, because Scyther's not as obvious from a distance, so you're probably going to want to zoom in. And in order to do the zoom in trick, you're just going to hit your home menu, press the settings, and go all the way down to accessibility, and then click that zoom button. That way you're double pressing home, and you should always have this as a shiny hunter. Always. No matter what game, no matter how pixelated they look or not pixelated, it's just a tool you all should be using in your game. Also, quick plug about this jacket, because I saw so many people asking me in the comments about it. Look, it has the team on the back as well, which is really cool. And since you guys have all been asking me about it, I do want to plug where I got this from. It's actually from my friends at MECCHA Japan, and they're an online shop that actually ships merch. Pokemon, Nintendo, Ghibli, Sonic, and One Piece. There's like 50,000 items on their shop, and they come straight from Japan. They do worldwide shipping, which is really cool. This is not a sponsor, by the way. I am plugging them simply because they did send me stuff, and they did hook me up with a discount code for all of you that I'm dropping in the description, which is going to be $10 off $100 orders. Not only did I get this coat, they gave me a really cool Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 case. We got our AZ Floette flower, pretty in style. And then check this out. It is a Legends ZA themed Lumiose cup. How cool is that? So links down below, and you can also check out MECCHA Japan on YouTube if you're into collector drops and rare finds. That's just a plug because they hooked us up and you guys want to know about the jacket. I'm literally doing this because you guys asked me about it. Now let's talk about our next method in the game, which is going to be our bench reset methods. I think these are the fun methods, but believe it or not, bench is not as efficient in this zone as you may think it is. So we're going to go through Wild Zone 13, and you can follow along with me here as we go to where the bench is. Once you exit out the zone on the other side, then make a sharp left, wrap around here, just like this, and you're going to find this Pokemon little battle court here. Then take that ladder, just go ahead and climb up. And when you climb up on the roof, you're going to find this bench right over here. Now, let me explain the bench method really simply. All for the bench method you have to do is just go to the bench, press A, kill some time, and then it's going to turn nighttime, right? There's going to be a transition on the screen. It's whatever. But the bench reset is kind of broken in this game for the fact that you can automate it in a way manually, as well as automating it with a controller. Now, there's three ways that people do this bench method. One method is really simple. You just take whatever controller you have, and you're going to take a rubber band, make sure the joystick is facing down direction. And when it's facing in the down direction, you're then going to just spam A. Your character should always be facing the bench while you're spamming A. And if you spam A very fast, it'll just keep going to the next reset and the next day and the next day and the next day and doing it over and over again, as long as he's running towards the bench. There's also turbo controllers where you can just quickly have your controller smashing the A button, but you're holding this down manually as well. But what I personally like is our 8BitDo macro controller, which we use, comes in purple, orange, gray, a ton of colors. I'm linking that down in the description below. But pretty much all you have to do is program a macro on here and then press the macro to initiate it, and your character's just going to sleep over and over again. I'm listing my macro on the screen, and we have an entire Discord community dedicated to creating macros that you can download to your controller and just automate for every single Wild Zone in a Google spreadsheet. It's pretty cool. But just want to say it can be automated as well. Now, besides just benching, we got to talk about what bench number 1 exactly does. So this is bench number 1 here, as you can see, and bench number 1 runs into a bunch of Pokemon, like these Spritzies across over there. See, we can do the zoom in trick if you watch that part of the video. You see Budews over here. You can also see that you have a possibility of getting a shiny Esper just by sitting at this bench. Not only that, but we have an alpha static Spritzy that is right across from us over here. Now, exactly what Pokemon does this bench cover in the zone? Well, let's head down to the zone and find out exactly what it does. So I'm going to go back to the zone, and how we exactly know this is by keeping tabs of exactly where that pin is. So we're going to enter a zone here, and we're going to see, okay, can these Heracross be shiny? Can they not be shiny? And we're going to look, and the Heracross do fall under that 50-meter range. See that 50 meters right there? There it is. Okay, I'm trying not to die. Heracross 1, Heracross 2. We also could have Scythers show up as shiny within the zone. So this does cover a few of the Pokemon here. So you could possibly get Heracross and Scyther during nighttime, and during the daytime, you'll be able to go for your Heracross and your Weepinbells. The bench method is not going to be as good for focusing directly on the zone, which is going to bring us to our next bench, which from this bench, we're just going to go across the roof like this, This bench is interesting because it's more of an AFK for other Pokemon, but Pinsir is the only Pokemon that falls in the range of this specific bench, and I'll show you exactly why this bench is pretty cool. All right, so we're going to mark down this bench over here, just like that, as you can see. This bench is interesting because it goes for all the monkeys, the elemental monkeys on that roof over there. It also resets for a Larvitar, which is going to be right over there on this roof. And it also can possibly get you some other extra Pokemon that are not intended. So now let me take you to the zone to show you the one Pokemon that it does cover. It covers one Pokemon, and it's going to be, where is he? This Pinsir right over here has the chance of being a shiny because it's literally within the 50 meters of that bench. That's it, just that one Pinsir. But you do get some bonus Pokemon, but I had to just mention the benches for you all so you know exactly what to do. So comment down below which method was your favorite from this video, and check out this video on your screen right over here to hunt more shinies.